Ali MacGraw emerged on the world stage almost overnight, capturing hearts with her rare beauty and quiet charm. In Love Story, she became more than an actress. She became a symbol of love, vulnerability, and the emotional currents that connect all of us. Her presence seemed almost lyrical, as if she moved through life like a poem in motion, graceful, luminous, and unforgettable. Yet while the public adored the icon, few glimpsed the person behind the gaze, the young woman adjusting to a sudden and extraordinary life in Hollywood. The intensity of fame arrived before she could fully understand herself, leaving her to navigate both the glittering attention and the quiet challenges that came with it. In her story, beauty and attention were blessings, yet they carried their own subtle burdens. Myth versus reality. From her first screen appearances, Ali's image was everywhere, imprinted in the minds of audiences who admired her every expression. People projected their hopes, longings, and imagined sorrows onto her, believing in the delicate fragility they saw on the screen. In reality, Ali was not a character to be admired, but a young woman discovering her own path while thrust into extraordinary attention. Her childhood, marked by an emotionally distant father and a mother struggling with her own challenges, had taught her resilience, yet not fully prepared her for Hollywood's pressures. Fans loved what they saw, but that admiration often overlooked the complexity of the woman herself. Her life became a delicate balancing act, a mix of public adoration and private introspection, where the woman behind the star struggled to find her authentic voice. The burden of beauty. Hollywood's fascination with Ali's beauty quickly became both her greatest asset and a quiet challenge. Studios sought to capitalize on her appearance, placing her on a pedestal without asking if she had the guidance, support, or personal tools to navigate such attention. Her image became a form of currency, admired by millions, yet it also limited how she could define herself outside of the expectations imposed upon her. The more she was projected onto, the more her individuality faded from view. While the world celebrated her grace and charm, the personal cost of constant scrutiny and superficial validation quietly shaped her experience. Ali's beauty opened doors, but also created spaces where her own needs and aspirations were often overlooked in favor of an idealized image that belonged more to others than to her. Love and choices. Ali's personal relationships were deeply intertwined with her public life, often misunderstood by onlookers. Her marriage to Robert Evans, a Hollywood producer, drew attention, but it was her later relationship with Steve McQueen that reshaped her path. McQueen's intense personality created an environment where Ali, celebrated for her independence, felt the pull to adapt, sometimes at the expense of her own momentum and career. These years were not simply about romantic love. They were about learning to navigate compromise, self-expression, and expectations placed upon her as a partner in the public eye. Despite the sacrifices and adjustments, these experiences contributed to her growing awareness of what mattered most, understanding herself and reclaiming her voice. Love, in Ali's life, became a teacher of patience, self-reflection, and the courage to prioritize authenticity over appearance. Hollywood's quiet lessons. Behind the cameras, Ali faced the realities of a demanding industry. The glamour, the lights, and the accolades were paired with high expectations, intense scrutiny, and the need to maintain composure amid constant change. Friends came and went, projects rose and fell, and the world continued to move swiftly around her. In this environment, Ali learned that inner stability could not be supplied by fame or adoration alone. Each challenge became a lesson in self-awareness, teaching her the importance of cultivating personal resilience and grounding herself in her own values. Though Hollywood often felt like a stage she could not fully inhabit, it offered her the opportunity to witness both the beauty and limitations of public life, reinforcing the necessity of defining herself beyond the spotlight, solitude, and growth. In the years following the high-profile chapters of her life, Ali embraced periods of solitude with intention and care. Away from the constant public gaze, she could reflect, explore spiritual practices, and develop a personal rhythm that nourished her well-being. Meditation, therapy, and quiet contemplation became tools for understanding her experiences and reclaiming her identity. Through these practices, she cultivated a sense of independence and clarity that had been difficult to achieve amid fame and expectation. Solitude offered her a space to reconnect with her authentic self, free from external pressure. In this quiet, Ali learned that peace and fulfillment were not measured by applause or attention, but by the ability to honor one's own path, values, and sense of self-worth. Healing and self-discovery. The late 1980s marked a turning point in Ali's journey. By seeking professional help and engaging with personal growth practices, she began to confront the patterns that had shaped her life. It was a time of reflection and renewal, where she recognized her own strengths and acknowledged the lessons from past experiences. Recovery was not about dramatics or public spectacle. It was a private, deliberate process of rebuilding a life that reflected her true desires and priorities. In this stage, Ali's resilience became more apparent. Her commitment to understanding herself, creating personal boundaries, and embracing her own journey demonstrated a quiet courage. It was a reclamation of autonomy, and it laid the foundation for a life lived on her terms, away from the expectations of others. A life in Santa Fe. Choosing a life removed from Hollywood's glare, Ali settled in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where simplicity and nature provided a grounding influence. Her days became filled with meditation, gardening, reading, and philosophical study. In this environment, she cultivated a life that prioritized introspection, creativity, and authentic connection over public attention. Here, she could live at her own pace, guided by personal fulfillment rather than societal expectations. Santa Fe became a space where her previous fame felt distant, replaced by an emphasis on inner growth, reflection, and harmony. The transition to this quieter life reflected her commitment to aligning her environment with her values and nurturing her emotional, spiritual, and intellectual well-being. The value of time. As Ali entered later stages of life, she found beauty in the simplicity and rhythm of everyday moments. Morning walks, meditation, reading, and quiet contemplation shaped her days, offering a sense of balance and continuity. Her approach to life emphasized the importance of patience, self-compassion, and thoughtful reflection. Time, which once carried pressures of fame and expectation, became a source of freedom and perspective. The wisdom gained from decades of experience enriched her understanding of relationships, work, and the self. In this way, Ali exemplified the quiet power of resilience, showing that life's greatest lessons often come from reflection, patience, and the conscious choice to prioritize well-being over external validation. Legacy of endurance. Ali MacGraw's life illustrates the resilience required to navigate public attention while maintaining a sense of self. Her experiences highlight the importance of self-awareness, emotional strength, and personal boundaries in facing life's challenges. Through reflection, recovery, and a conscious decision to prioritize authenticity, she became a model of quiet endurance. While her public image captured attention for a time, it was her personal journey, marked by introspection, growth, and self-respect, that formed her enduring legacy. Her story emphasizes that true strength is often found not in public triumphs, but in the daily work of understanding, accepting, and nurturing oneself, even in the face of immense external pressure. Triumph in quiet. Ali's later life demonstrates that triumph does not always need to be loud or spectacular. By reclaiming her autonomy, valuing her own needs, and embracing simplicity, she achieved a lasting form of success. Peace, clarity, and self-acceptance became the markers of her achievement. Her ability to navigate early fame, complex relationships, and personal challenges without losing her sense of self reflects a subtle yet profound form of courage. The victories that define her life are not measured in awards, headlines, or public recognition, but in resilience, wisdom, and the integrity with which she has lived. Ali's journey shows that survival, authenticity, and inner peace can be the most extraordinary achievements of all. A life fully lived. Today, Ali MacGraw's presence is defined by insight, reflection, and dignity. She exists not as a symbol of Hollywood glamour, but as an example of a life lived intentionally and authentically. Her journey demonstrates that fame may be fleeting, but personal growth, self-respect, and quiet fulfillment endure. Through her choices, she offers a powerful lesson in prioritizing values over external validation and embracing solitude as a space for growth rather than isolation. Ali MacGraw's story is ultimately about living fully, cultivating wisdom, and creating a life defined by personal truth. Her path reminds us that the most meaningful victories are often invisible, born from resilience, reflection, and a commitment to living authentically.